Okay, so my presentation was on Margaret Thatcher, and I actually found this really difficult to do because it's such like a broad topic. There's so much included in her, and it was just me doing it. I felt it would have been more beneficial if I had someone doing it with me, because we could have covered a lot more. But since it was just me, I decided to look at some of her main policies and like key terms that were created when she was in power. So the first one was Thatcherism, and this represents a belief in laissez-faire, so a lack of government involvement, and a small state. So rather than planning and regulating businesses and people's lives, the government would take a step back and, in a sense, let them sort it out, like between them. So the government wouldn't be like, you've got to do this, this needs to be done in this section. It would just get sorted out without government's interference to an extent. The other term was monetarism. So this was sort of initiated by Friedman, who sort of said to Thatcher about it, and it just basically means controlling the money supply with high interest rates to tame inflation without resorting to union negotiated pay policies. So if I'm correct, there was a big recession that she sorted out, and I believe that's how she did it. She also cut income tax to 25% for the basic rate. For people who were earning slightly more, the percentages were different. I think it went down 80% to 42%. But for people who were earning minimum wage or a lesser rate, was cut 25%. But she increased VAT to make up for the lack of money that wasn't coming in and circulating round. So they were some of the key terms. And in her first year, because my presentation was based on her early years, it wasn't throughout her whole time in power, she looked largely at wage control and therefore controlling the unions that were going around. So Thatcher hoped this would make an effective start in bringing hegemony over the trade unions, so controlling them, and I guess by controlling the wages and obviously the strikes and things, she did in a sense get some sort of control over it. And the other thing that she strongly disagreed with the previous government is that she thought Britain was contributing too much to the European community, and Britain was actually the largest contributor to the European community. It was paying out, this bit I didn't understand too much, but I think it was paying out £1 million more than Britain's income from other countries. So the distribution between the two, Britain was paying out much more than other people paying into the European community, but Britain wasn't getting in as much money from other places, which meant that the Europeans were basically using Britain's tax money, which means they couldn't improve their public services. And when Thatcher was sort of tackling this and saying, this isn't right, we're going to pay out an equal net, what's the word? I'm going to say wage. It made her very popular with the public because it meant that she was able to put more money in the public services and making that sector better than she was paying out to the European community and giving money to that. She also excuse me, was an advocate of privatising state-owned industries and reforming, and reforming trade unions, lowering taxes and reducing social expenditure across the board. So these also succeeded in reducing inflation, but it also meant that unemployment rose. So with the miners' strike, that would be an example of that. And the unemployment rise was very dramatic from her first year, like when she just started, to the end of her first year. That was a big rise. And then I also found out a little bit about political relations, but there wasn't too much on this. I'm really sorry about my cough. So in the 80s, sort of like early 80s, she formed very close political and personal relations to the US President Ronald Reagan, and this was based on a common mistrust of communism. So they just sort of thought that there would be a better way, like democracy, to sort of run a country, and that's.
Thank you.
I also made a little poster with all the information I was going to scan for everyone, just to
That
have.
would be really great, and what would be really great is if you could walk towards the camera with that poster and hold it in front of the hold it in front of the camera so that Gabs can see it as well.
It's basically just got all the information that I said on it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah?
It's like adjusting. If we can scan it and we can upload it to the Dropbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fine. I can do that for you guys.
Okay, so